Radiant team.
And they have only accumulated themselves 10 points right now, which is not secure in any way.
Yeah, and I think, but this is probably the most exciting series because we're looking at two teams who are innovative. We're looking at two teams whose supports are huge playmakers, right? On the side of FNATIC, you have, I think, DJ and Jets, and Neon Esports, you have Playhard in general. Super good playmakers. I can't wait to see what these position 4 and 5 can do for the team.
Yeah.
Radiant
the draft
team
is ready,
back.
so let's jump in and see what's going to be on the table for both of these squads. So we've seen Neon evolving over the course of the tournament. They started a little bit slow. It seemed that the team felt very off, very wonky, but then as they played games, they played more opponents, they definitely feel like they've solidified a really good foundation for the team. They feel strong. You can see that they play around Scam. What do you feel like is their strongest point so far for Neon?
I feel like their strategy and synergy between their heroes has always been on top of their game. Very previously, they play alongside Raging Potato, and Neon as a whole, they were fully relying on their personal skill to excel. But right now, with the departure of Raging Potato, and they welcome back Rappy, which is always the backbone of the team. He always plays the role of utility, setting up the team fight, setting up the strategy for his team. I feel like they have found a very good balance between themselves.
Yeah, I think the stark difference between Rappy and Raging Potato when they both played respectively for the teams was that when Raging Potato was still playing for Neon Esports, they had a more aggressive stance because you have two super aggressive cores in the position 1 and 3, and then you have a playmaking position 2. But now with Rappy in, you kind of take away a bit of the aggressiveness, but you transfer it into stability. You have Rappy to be the backbone, just support the team with his hero picks like his Pugna, his Venomancer. We've all seen that. He also plays the Chen. I think it's a good balance for Neon Esports.
And I think we could also mention Yopaj as well, right? At first, Yopaj, he played a more utility-based mid laner, more along the lines of support Scam, right? Just to be that backbone, so that if Rappy wasn't there, then you would also have Yopaj to help out set the fights for Scam. But then now we're starting to see Yopaj start to pick up more of that core-oriented role, right? Where if Scam can't carry, then Yopaj is another hero to lean on.
Yep, and right off the bat, in these 4 picks, perfectly encapsulates what both teams represent. You know, you have the Prophet, the Ski Prophet, and probably a Yopaj / Playhard Tiny, and then you have the Winter Wyvern to deal with the Prophet. Could be played by Ice, could be played by Jab, and of course the Bat Rider as well. Or all of these heroes are flex picks for both teams.
Yeah, a lot of times if you look at FNATIC, we have been saying FNATIC is not afraid or shy to let through the enemy's strongest hero. Like Scams on his Nature's Warfare is definitely his signature in this tournament, and FNATIC, they're just don't care about that. Yeah. They responded with the Bat Rider and the Winter Wyvern. Both of these heroes has one similarity. Their ultimate goes through BKB. Yep. And Furon is one hero that he wants to translate all his early net worth into Orchid plus BKB. So he'll have a very early BKB timing, but FNATIC has 2 ways to shut down that. So I think that's the best response FNATIC is doing right now. They're letting away the Nature's Prophet and then deal with him.
Yeah, I think it's also another way, right? Because a lot of teams, the less experienced teams, like for example, New Esports, or probably sometimes you see Reality Rift, they tend to just ban out the same heroes because they don't know how to deal with it. But if you look at it, approach it from a non-perspective, you let it through, you find a solution to it, it gives you more avenue as well. You can ban out heroes that you really think are a big threat, and you work on the heroes that you have a solution towards.
Another thing is, most of the time, teams, they only come out with a solution at game 2 after they have lost to that one hero at game 1, like we saw yesterday. A droid have the Magnus on Mag for their solution. So I think one thing that separates FNATIC from all the other teams is that they always have solution before coming into the entire series.
Yeah.
They've always done their homework, theory craft before the series start, and come into that with
10
preparation.
seconds remaining.
And I think you can also mention that their hero pool allows for this style, right?
5
where you have
seconds
players
remaining.
that are so talented that can play so many heroes, and the less experienced teams and the players, they have a smaller hero pool. They don't get that opportunity to suddenly whip out a hero that no one plays, because when do you ever get time to practice those unknown heroes?
Yeah, and it's also a bigger risk as well. If you put a player on heroes that he's not comfortable with, he might just end up underperforming, and we kind of seen that throughout this league, and it's not pretty. I think one of the examples was the Bog Post 3 Ogre Magi,
and also Daxia
and also the Daxia.
Yeah.
Pretty
FNATIC's turn to
underwhelming.
pick.
FBZ's Post 3 Clockwork also slightly underwhelming. Kenny Loon's Post 3 Visage, all these examples, they kind of add up to the same conclusion, which is don't push the players too far from their comfort zone.
Absolutely. So we're going through our next phases of picks. Now, so far the trend for FNATIC, they've
10
picked, I think,
seconds
similar
remaining.
heroes for most of their matches. They always seem to have the Batrider. They've incorporated the
5
Winter Wyvern
seconds
here.
remaining.
On any other
Radiant
heroes that
team
FNATIC have been
pick.
playing a lot that we're going to see. They pick up the Clockwork.
I thought they were going for Pangolier. Pangolier is also another very flexible hero that they love to pick at the 3rd pick. But Clockwork,
FNATIC's turn to pick.
he's amazing
Legion
against
Commander.
the hero, amazing against Tiny. And they have no ways to deal with the Clockwork unless they buy a BKB or a Force Staff.
Yeah, I think the objective is just there for the Nature's Prophet. Now you have 3 ways to deal with the Nature's Prophet. Hookshot, go through BKB.
3 ways to go through BKB as well.
Yeah, so that's almost the same thing as a Pangolier,
10
except for the fact that
seconds remaining.
Pangolier's rolling thunder doesn't affect players with magic immunity,
5
but the hookshot
seconds
solves that
remaining.
problem. You have the rocket flare to scout out where this Nature's Prophet is, so he cannot just sprout
Radiant
himself high in the
team
trees.
pick.
They're perfectly done by FNATIC. Now they're doing the troll, another big threat towards Prophet.
Radiant
Legion Commander
team
does
back.
not want to do the troll at all. Neon Esports slightly getting outdrafted, but they respond with the partner.
Great way to respond against that troll. Just decrypt anyone that's being targeted by the troll. They've got some decent heroes to back up anyone that gets jumped on, but now,
still, they are picking partner into a Clockwork, so
10
it makes
seconds
Clockwork games
remaining.
even better now that he has so many targets that he could go on now and can really
5
do a lot of
seconds
damage to
remaining.
them.
Yeah.
These are all solo queue targets for the Clockwork if he's on a 3 or even on a 4. We have seen DJ owns with this hero. All you have to do is get to a level 7, has 4 points on battery assault, and you are good to go.
it
Yeah.
must be ridiculous going up against FNATIC, because you see the opening 3 heroes and you have to think, who's playing what?
Exactly.
Exactly. I feel like this is support Clockwork for sure. Core Clockwork is just not as good. You have turn 3 Savages, Troll, this Bat and Winter Wyvern, they can go anywhere.
We have seen SSS playing the Wyvern 3. We have also seen Moon playing the Post 2 Batrider as well. So at this point, until they reveal their last hero,
You will never know.
you never know.
And it still could be a flex pick, for their last hero. They could pick a Pango if it's not banned out. Pango against Pugna, amazing. Pango against LC, amazing. Against Tiny, amazing as well.
FNATIC's
So
turn
FNATIC
to
have so
ban.
many choices. And if you look at their bans, those bans are targeted to protect the troll as well. The Oracle, the Abaddon, the Slug, the Beastmaster, to protect this troll and the Batrider. So this Batrider could very well be a core for FNATIC for all we know.
Yeah. So how are you feeling about FNATIC's draft in terms of
10
damage? Because it
seconds
seems like
remaining.
most of the damage output so far is coming from the troll. They can have a little bit coming up from the
5
Batrider, but
seconds
otherwise you're
remaining.
running a Wyvern who more or less is there for the control, maybe some Splinter Blasts here and there. Clockwork, not really renowned for damage either, so do you feel like maybe they kind of need something to give the draft a little bit of a kick?
Yeah,
in their last
definitely.
pick?
They could really use some burst damage here. They have really good setups, Lasso, Hook. So anyone with a huge amount of burst damage can really help them here. But
think-
anyways, we have seen this before.
Radiant
FNATIC,
team
they pick
back.
hero that doesn't offer a lot of damage, but they somehow make it work by having really good heroes.
You know what? I just realized who's not banned out. Timbersaw.
Ah.
FNATIC's
Timbersaw could still be
turn
a
to
choice to put this
ban.
Wyvern Clockwork as in the support role.
Pugna can't do anything against the Timbersaw.
That's true.
Nature's Prophet can't do anything against the Timbersaw.
Yeah, they have
Tiny has to Avatos.
they have a lot of choices, honestly. Like,
And they banned the A.
and they banned it could be a Timbersaw setup, honestly.
It really feels like
remaining.
Timbersaw. Since FNATIC, every time it's not. I mean, we've only seen it not banned once,
5
and we already saw what
seconds remaining.
happened.
It depends on, and the Slug is also banned out as well. Great Silver Age carrier. It depends on how FNATIC wants to play this. Do they want to pick a mid laner last? You still have the Queen of Pain available. You still have the Void Spirit available. Also good at cutting through the backlines to reach that Nature's Prophet and the partner. So the cards are in FNATIC's hand.
It all comes down to whether FNATIC wants to make this a Savage show or SSI show.
Yeah.
Why not both?
True, why not both? Why pick one? You're all adults, right? Go for everything.
I mean, the Timbersaw does solve the issue for damage, right? Because the Chakram just does so much by itself.
Radiant
and
team
what can you
pick.
really do if you're Neon? You don't have the control to deal with a Timbersaw by any means. So let's see what Neon goes for. Do they maybe suspect the Timbersaw coming?
See you later, nerds.
This
See you later,
If the
nerds.
A ban, that is so obvious. You don't just ban A at the last phase for not setting up anything.
Yeah, I think the
10
AA, it
seconds
also protects the
remaining.
throw as well, right? The throw you battle trans, but if you get hit by the AA blast, you will die regardless.
5 seconds
So
remaining.
there's like a killing 2 birds with 1 stone for FNATIC right now, but the best case scenario is they have the last pick. So now Neon, they have to anticipate a Timbersaw pick. No funny stuff from Neon Esports.
Yeah, Neon, surprisingly, they're lacking of a 5 right now, unless they want to put Jano on the post 5 partner, but most of the time, you'll see either Play Hard or Rappy playing that, but I think Rappy has to really lock into the LC here.
Yeah, we've seen post 5 LC from China. I think LGD ran the post 5. Was it LG? No. It was RNG. RNG ran the post 5 LC.
Yeah, didn't work out though.
Didn't work out, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's just so OP, right? You just rely on the attack. It's no good target for LC, honestly. Like, probably the Clockwork or the Winter Wyvern.
Honestly, I would love to see this as a Play Hard Tiny, and they put something more aggressive on
Shadow
your patch.
Fiend?
Even the Earth Spirit might come in handy as well against the Winter Wyvern, against the Bat Rider. There's good ways to lock down them, making sure that they don't come in with the disables.
I'm not sure though, because if you take the Earth Spirit, do you think they have enough to take down the Troll with all this backup that he has?
I think Dragon Knight, Void, Shadow Fiend.
FNATIC's
I can think of
turn
these 3
to
heroes.
pick.
Okay, so they go for the Queen of Pain.
Queen of Pain, just try and go for burst. Just kill the Troll, I suppose, before he can battle trance.
Yeah, that's a good choice because you definitely need some kind of burst damage to pair with the duel from LC.
Now it's all in FNATIC's hands. Let's see what they have for this last pick. So many choices.
It's not the
10
instant Timbersaw,
seconds
so it could be
remaining.
seeing
Not really.
something new.
I think Pango is still very wild
5
here.
I
seconds
still think Pango
remaining.
is a good pick if they want to go for it. Neon Esports have no way to stop the Pango. It's a free rolling thunder game for him if FNATIC decides to go for the Pango, but if they want to directly counter this Queen of Pain, they can also do that. They've seen this, they saw this Queen of Pain. Even if it's a support Queen of Pain, I think FNATIC wouldn't be too bothered about it. Okay, so they go for the
Choose your hero.
So
It does help for the team fights though. Wyvern does love working with that puck. The Winter's Curse be much easier to land. Puck was also very elusive. You take a look at what Neon have. I don't think they can really catch a puck.
Oh, I wonder how Neon can play this. FNATIC has such a strong draft.
yeah, they have all the disable that they can have.
All this goes
Everything
through BKB.
goes through BKB.
This is so scary.
However,
Ridiculous.
I think SSI is gonna settle down with most likely with the Bat Rider here.
Yeah.
Unless they want to run a Winter Wyvern 3, Bat 5, and a Clockwork 4.
Yeah, I think this puck, right, all he has to do is to get the axe.
What if it's an offlane puck?
Yeah, could be as well. I think this puck, if they manage to get the axe on him, that's it.
Ooh.
That's the most
10
important item.
seconds remaining.
Right, so we just got informed by production that Ice is actually not
5
playing FNATIC
seconds
today.
remaining.
They're actually running a stand-in.
Right, so
Alright.
FNATIC has, I wouldn't say slight handicap, but see what they have.
Wow.
They'll be like, we don't
okay.
need Ice,
I mean-
we're first place.
Like this is time for the others to show up
So
because
it's a 23 Savage show.
Yeah.
It's a
like-
20 Savage show.
like last week, right, we were saying SSI is taking all the spotlight from the others, and this is the time now for the rest of the FNATIC squad.
Must be the ... like got him benched for once. Nah, just kidding.
Oh goodness. But looking at the two drafts, I have a feeling I know what your predictions are going to be, but let me have it.
I think FNATIC just ticks more boxes than Neon. They have more ways to do Neon. You have 4 heroes that inherently can go through BKB.
Yeah, and for me, I'm not a fan of jumping on the bandwagon, but this time around you have Scam on his favorite Nature's Prophet, and yeah, I'll go with Neon. Someone has to give them some love.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Knowing his pattern, right? Like, if game 1 doesn't go his way, game 2 he'll say the same thing, but he'll backtrack.
He'll jump ship.
That is what I want you to think.
Alright, let's jump into the game right now. Game 1 between FNATIC versus Neon.
Holy moly!
Prepare for battle.
Alrighty.
So, who's playing for
Okay, so
Fearless? Is actually taking it.
See you later, nerds. See you later, nerds.
There's mid Puck. Oh, so waiting for this. I think Puck has only been picked once throughout the entire season.
Yeah, the hero's kind of been absent from the league so far. And it feels strange too because you would assume that Puck, since the changes to the whole dynamic of the game, right? Teams are encouraged to fight now. You think Puck would be a fantastic hero to actually put into your drafts because it's a hero that wants to fight, and Coil, the cooldown for it's reasonable.
Yeah, and one of the best plays for Troll to fight is if everyone is stacked together and you have multiple ways to do that. You have the Clockwork, you have the Wyvern, you have the Puck with the Dream Coil, and Puck naturally is a strong laner. Early on has high base damage to work with, at level 6 good at rotating with the Dream Coil. I think FNATIC should have a pretty decent lane phase against Neon.
Do you think there's actually a chance that Neon would be able to take a game off of FNATIC?
I honestly think there is.
What would the odds be, do you think? Like 20-80? 35-65?
35-65 sounds about nice. Sounds about right. Yeah, it's not too high, not too low. I think Neon has to really pull a rabbit out of the hat to surprise FNATIC.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what Boom did. But I think the situation with Boom was slightly different. Boom just played a fantastic game during that series. So Neon, we've seen them recover, we've seen them grow from the first 2 weeks, and I think they're in a pretty good spot to challenge FNATIC.
Yeah. It'll be interesting as well to see how Fearless sort of meshes with FNATIC, because of course when you're playing with a stand-in, you can't play as you normally would all the time, right? So you get that little added flair of what Fearless sort of adds to the lineup. Like, do you think with the absence of Ice, I think a lot of people look at Ice and say he's the backbone of the team. Like, he's the one that causes the chaos and sort of the organized chaos in that he will force teams to overextend so that they kill him, but then of course FNATIC comes in and has that revenge moment of killing them.
I guess so. I think Puck does the same thing. FNATIC still have dedicated heroes to do that. There are multiple heroes that can accomplish the same objective, so they should have a lot of resources to make that happen at level 6. But Neon probably just wants to play fast. They've been known to play fast with this Scam Nature's Prophet. It's seen it a lot. Add in like this Yopaj Tiny, you have this Legion Commander, Pugna, all these heroes are super fast. If you kind of let them pick you off and you don't have a glyph, they will just run down your structures. So, you know, they just stick to their guns, just play fast. We'll just see how this works out for them.
It might, honestly, it's going to go both ways, right? Like, neither team wants to just sort of sit on their bum farming.
Yeah, this is going to be both teams have a draft that just wants to fight.
We'll just see who executes the fights better. If maybe Neon will have the upper hand this game because they've got some fantastic heroes that they love to play, or if it's just going to be FNATIC. I think at this rate, it's safe to say that FNATIC, so far, they have more or less steamrolled all of their games, minus that one match that they lost to, to Boom.
Even that game that they lost, it wasn't, it wasn't like a landslide, right? It was still a close game that Boom just played better. So even, I think, One Esports released a week 4 power ranking. FNATIC, well, not surprised, still in first place.
I mean, considering that their standings are first as well, and they've won almost all of their games, it's understandable.
Yeah. Well, Fearless taking a lot of punishment early on from Yopash, and this is the classic Tiny, level 1 free grab. He just walks up. There's no way this puck can trade with him. Level 1 illusory up isn't that strong anyway. Ever since the change to this free grab, Tiny has been pretty disgusting in the mid lane. He drops the avalanche on the Fearless. Does have the tree throw, but the damage is not there, so Yopash will just go back to farming. But he seems like he's already established his dominance.
Yeah, it's doing great against this pop. Although maybe Fearless being a bit too fearless in that early little movement, right? Just like sort of jaunting in, trying to get the right clicks, push out the Tiny, but it went the other way around. It ended up being Fearless being chased.
It's actually a post 5 Legion Commander, so...
Oh, so they've taken a page out of the Chinese Dota book, it seems.
Perhaps. Marmin in general played the post 5 Faceless Void, so I'm not surprised if they put someone like an LC on him. This also helps solidify the Scam's lane as well. Januel
must play carries in his pubs to suddenly pick up all these random mishmash of heroes, right? Just to play Void, to play the Legion. Maybe in his heart he says, guys, I want to play Core, but they say, no, you gotta play support.
I mean, when you steal Wyvern away, when you ban out, his favorite Oracle, he has to find a hero that can accomplish the same thing. No, Venture Spirit is also banned, so Legion Commander, same thing, you have a Purge.
It can press the attack, yes.
You have a Purge. I mean, Abaddon was also banned out, so Legion Commander sounds like he ticks all the boxes.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Januel manages to play that Legion, but for now we're just looking at a passive laning phase, nothing too crazy going on between the lanes. It's just everyone farming, really. It would be really cool to see who makes the movement first, because it looks like it's going to be FNATIC. We've got a Clockwork trying to go for a wraparound in that mid lane.
Yep, a little bit of poke on that Wyvern, but
Yopash is a little low, so there's a good chance they could kill this Tiny here.
Oh, he got a fresh bottle, so unfortunately DJ is not able to, won't be able to do anything to this Tiny. But he's gonna wait patiently.
Oh, no,
DJ gets spotted out by the ops. The ops just right on the edge, so this Clockwork will have to retreat from that mid lane.
Yeah, the timing was perfect there for Yopash. If he did get the bottle there, good chance that if he just walked into that middle lane, he would have just gotten Pog killed off by the puck.
Yeah, last hitting. I mean, Puck is not going to lose the lane.
No.
He's one of the strongest laners.
He might get bullied out a bit, but of course Puck is just fantastic overall.
I mean, once you have the waiting room, I think you want to make waiting room, but the clock's in the top lane. DJ instant TP draws first blood. Playhard does trade back Country Savage though, so a slight win for Neon Esports.
But they did give away that first blood though, so it might have just completely nullified the entire gank. But so far it's fine. Playhard can continue to sit in lane, farm on his Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I mean, Pugna in general, early levels, it's so easy to kill him.
Yeah.
If the Clockwork just locks him down, and Yopash continuously being pushed out of the lane, they had to rotate Januel to secure the power rune, and lucky Tiny follows up the regen.
That's beautiful too. Just going to go back up to full after he's used up his mana pool. So I wonder what the plan is here for Yopash. Are we maybe just going to... Oh, Avatar from the puck.
Oh my god, so much damage.
Oh, he doesn't have it. So close. If he had a little bit of help there, that would have been a kill.
If he had the tree toss, that would have been a kill.
Yeah.
But that was dodged out by Fearless. Yopash with that, they instantly regains the lead that he slightly lost to Fearless early on, but Playhard might not be that lucky. He does have the blink, so
Dire's middle tower is under
back
attack.
to the base. The transports are
Radiant's
back to the
middle
top lane as
tower
well.
is under attack.
As the 5-minute rune will be coming up, but because of Yopash's avatars, this Puck Fearless won't be able to rejoin the lane for the that wave.
You're not going to be too fearless for long, unfortunately. It looks like we've got another engagement up top. That's that trap.
Called out by DJ, but 23 Savage not too near. DJ tries to run, but the presence of the
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So Rabbi would just be solving himself out. 5-minute runes will be available. It seems like, say, 2 apiece for both teams.
We've seen a couple of movements here. There. Oh no, that's.
We've seen a lot of courier snipes throughout this league. I think yesterday there was a lot of courier kills as well.
I mean, it's easier to kill the couriers now, right? They're just so slow.
Oh yeah. Or play hard, trying to man up against 23 Savage, but not a smart idea. This troll just instantly fights back. Very early earn for play hard because he got that troll kill. So now we'll see if this Queen of Pain can be aggressive as It's a bit of a scuffle for Wards. DJ loses that ops to General.
Dire's structures
The
are
battle of
fortified.
supports, making sure that your team has vision, the other one doesn't. Looks like Fearless actually tossed up by Yopaj. Oh,
Prequel up. And two supports coming in from FNATIC. Press the attack to keep Yopaj alive versus Dado. Yopaj tries to get up, but the attack speed from Tiger is too slow. There is backup from Playhard. Yopaj goes down, and the supports from Neon Esports are not able to accomplish anything.
yeah, you got a wonky support duo. I'm not really sure what you could really expect a Legion and support Queen of Pain to kind of do in these situations. We're gonna start seeing the downfall of these two supports if they can't sort of get something going and get their ultimates, because what can you really expect the support Queen of Pain to do? I mean, what's Playhard's role? Is it just to chase heroes down if they're weak? Of course, the Sonic Wave's gonna be a major spell, but outside of that, the support bot, oh yeah.
Meanwhile, you have Scamming right back with the last one. Has the attack in the third generation. He turns back at the F-top. Rotation from Yopaj. They managed to pick up DJ in the bot lane.
Close there to losing Skim there. A nice little counter gank, but they had to bring in Yopaj for that. Looks like they're going to give some EXP to play hard mid so that he can get Sonic Wave on that Queen of Pain. The counter ganks have been kind of nice here for Neon, but it almost feels like Neon have to be the ones to make the move at some point, because they are on the they're on the clock, right? They're dealing with that troll warlord. They don't have a carry that is as equally scary as that troll.
Yeah, you have to kind of kite this troll around. They have ways to do so, but it's not going to be easy if DJ dies, comes back up to the top lane. Playhard is there to back it out, so 23 Savage being pushed back. They're going to declare up DJ, start the live game. DJ pops the stick down to 50%, but the gang is thwarted by Neon.
Not able to turn around at all. We've seen DJ just being a pest, right? Just comes in, cogs heroes, has everyone on his team sort of finish them off. Of course, they didn't get anything in that top engagement, but we're already starting to see if this is what he does, just walking up to you and cogsing you, heaven forbid the team fights start happening and he has hook shot. He's going to be able to go into the back lines and get those squishies.
This is what you want to do as the clock, or you want to be active, you want to be getting those kills early on. I think DJ has done a pretty decent
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yopaj secure a kill in the top lane onto I think Rappy as well.
Dire's
so
top
not all
tower
too bad
has fallen.
in terms of what he's been doing for the past 8
Dire's
minutes.
middle tower is under
grab
attack.
himself that illusion room bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Generation over Yopaj.
Got the Royal Jelly on the side of Neon.
Well, Neon, probably the best consumable item you can get for tier 1.
Radiant's
Royal
bottom
Jelly.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, ever since the change, I think the patch has done a slight favor for some teams, because sometimes to get two consumable items, you get like a mango tree and a royal jelly, and you go into like the next 10 minutes with only 2 active items for 5 members. That's not really what you want. So the royal jelly is the best out of all consumable items. This extra regeneration would definitely help this Tiny. You can give it to Rappy as well. Pugna will always love the regeneration for the life tree. But it seems like Moon has something else to say. Jeno only level 4, no way to cancel out this Firefly. North lane natural. TP is coming in though. Keeping Jeno alive for a bit longer. And FNATIC will be forced to retreat as 2 TPs will be forced from the side of Neon Esports.
Yeah, the support Legion, she is deceptively tanky. She doesn't really have any items on her that gives her stats, but if you take a look at how much health she has, she's got 100 HP. Sorry, 1000 HP. So that's quite a lot to burn through, and it's hard when they can just press the attack off the napalm, because that's where most of the damage comes out from that rider.
Onto Rappy, all the long damage, Rappelation from downtown. And Moon did not expect that. Fearless has to get the heck out of there. Splinter Blast, not able to kill off Rappy, as Jab will now join the fight. DJ as well. Good toss back and life drain now. Back to the fountain for 20 seconds, and it's Neon Esports with the better rotation, and they find 2 kills.
So that failed attempt onto the Legion turns into FNATIC losing quite a few heroes. They tried to come in with Fearless, and this was something that we spoke about during the draft. Their lineup isn't really the best when it comes to bursting
Radiant's
heroes down,
middle
right?
tower
Play
is
punch,
under
you
attack.
want to go in there, get the coil, blow someone up and leave, but it just took them too long.
Yep, Entry Savage has to earn on him. Yopaj that's tossing into the side. Now they have the drum, and it's going to be the Winter Wyvern. Goodbye, Jab. easy
Dire's
damage
middle
for
tower
January.
is under
And
attack.
Daniel's gonna slowly turn into a carry.
We talked about this.
I mean, he did it with the
Radiant's
faceless
bottom
void the
tower
other day,
is
so
under
why
attack.
not?
You let them get the pick off, suddenly your towers are in danger.
Your towers belong to us, they say.
I missed that cheat code. What was that again? Is that an instant win?
Dire's middle
What is?
tower
That
is
was
under
all
attack.
your base that belongs to us. Yeah, that's an instant win. Back
Dire's
in the
middle
day.
tower
If you
has
type that, you
fallen.
just instantly win. Yeah.
You know the origins of it?
I've heard of it, but I
It
don't
was
remember.
a typo
Radiant's
in
bottom
the original
tower has
StarCraft
been
one.
denied.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
right.
I think it was a translation typo. So
Yeah.
it was very funny.
I read about that. I think it was on Reddit. But so Moon taken down once more. FNATIC, they did get the bottom tier 1. In exchange for the mid tier 1, I think Neon Esports will gladly take that. This is how fast they want to play. It's easy for them to rotate, right? If they rotate the offense to the bot lane, Scam can just TP. Jinquan onto Yopa. They have 3 members on top of it. What a great press. They attack the Avatar's combo. It's going to fall set 23 Savage to back off.
This support Legion is actually paying it for itself quite well this game. Press the attack, great way to purge off the stun from the coil snap.
They have to move. They're looking for jab to get the
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Down. They have to hook up a creep onto Rapid Jab. Not able to get any skill off. They have a nether wall as well. As Wolf comes in Firefly, trying to burn through everyone with Neon Esports. Fight being split up. Seems like Rapid is not going to survive. The Savage now going absolutely ham. They get the lasso onto Yopash, and Yopash will fall as well. But play hard and Scam. They are in the fight. DJ trying to run away. Has to cover off the cogs, but I don't think he's going to make it out.
Dire's middle tower is under
As he
attack.
goes on a killing spree. But play hard. He might want more though. Try in Shadow Strike. 23 Savage turns it around. Play hard. Overextended. Not back for the flame break. It's going to be Moon getting the double.
Dire's middle tower
FNATIC
is under attack.
Very questionable movement there for play hard. You didn't really have to go in for the Blink Shadow Strike, but maybe thinking you could do a little bit more damage and grab that kill. But FNATIC, the reinforcements were great. Neon, they just overextended. I think they got a little too bloodthirsty, and maybe it's a sense of urgency that we kind of talked about yesterday. They're pressed to apply this pressure to the troll, but
Radiant's
unfortunately,
middle
the troll
tower
didn't
is
die.
under
He
attack.
survived through the entirety of the engagement, and he just got a lot of gold from that team fight.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to be happy with the minor victories
Radiant
that you
are
get.
scanning.
So Neon Esports just biting off a bit more than they can chew. FNATIC should be pretty content with that fight, the fact that 23 Savage survived. But Neon, they're not going to stop. They smoke up. They see the courier belonging to Jabs, and Yopash will be looking for that toss again. They see 23 Savage.
Dire's top
trapped by
tower
Avatar.
is under attack.
Goodbye, Short.
That decrypt combo with the tiny. If you just get too close,
Yeah, and
insta burst.
I think Rappy, if he goes for a Veil of Discord, it's going to be even more painful as Fearless does get the avalanche on top of the toss. I want to get Nether Blast. That's another easy pickup for Neon Esports.
Ooh, this is actually looking a little bit scary here for FNATIC. Of course, they're running the
Dire's
troll,
middle
but
tower is
we're
under
starting
attack.
to see the power of all this burst coming in from Neon, and they're winning these small engagements. It's almost going to force FNATIC to have to move around the map as 5, and of course, you still want to be farming. They can't really afford to give too many of those kills away because Neon's lineup is built to snowball. They want to push as fast as they can, and it's going to be tough. It really is. They're just going to have to probably bunker it down if you're FNATIC. Just make sure that you're getting that farm on 23 Savage, get the BKB, and once the BKB is up, that's going to have to be where we see FNATIC shine. And if they can't win with the BKBs, then of course you're going to have to go into panic mode.
Yeah, and we had this conversation before with this Yopash Tiny, right? But Moon, hold up for now. Moon, they found out to Crepify. He's gonna bop everyone away with the flame break, but Jano is looking for him. Scan TP's in as well. Moon has the boost of trap. We tried to TP out. There's a way to stop it. Sonic well, he'll be sent back to the other planet for 30 seconds. But we did talk about this. The Yopash Tiny against a droid, the game that they lost with this mid Tiny, it was because no one was there to back up Yopash. He was doing everything on his own. But now look at the heroes that they have. They have Queen of Pain, follow up, and this is the difference. When you have someone to back up this Tiny to go aggressive, this is what they can do. They kill off Fearless once more, and it might translate into more control for Neon Esports.
Yeah, it looks like it so far. They're taking control all over the map. They're running around, grabbing all these kills. And
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
23 Savage is in the Radiant jungle. Can they kill that troll?
Yopash, he saw it, but they're going the wrong way as Savage will duck right down. The Great Wave is pushed into the tier 2, but TP's coming in Scam.
Oh no,
Barely misses the troll. So TP to safety, pretty lucky. unlucky timing for Scam, but lucky one for Troll. They also have the ops on this area. Slightly unorthodox for a normal observer ward to be, but good news for Neon Esports. Yopad just got his fresh blink dagger. Fine job. Winter's Curse on top of this Queen of Pain. They have the hook shot to re-engage if they want to. But he is looking for Yopad, comes in with the blink dagger, finishes off the Winter Wyvern.
That was a very interesting Winter's Curse. He Winter's Curse, Arctic Burn, and then decided to hit play hard a couple times. Were they maybe expecting someone to just sort of come in and
DJ
clean up the quad?
I think DJ was waiting, but thankfully he didn't engage.
Yeah, then yeah, things are looking really messy here for FNATIC. This is
so aggressive. Broken by Mundo. He's in a good position, but the blink dagger reveal onto 23 Savage. He has the battle trap, so now they have the Kyle Stroll. Wasted battle trap. Now Savage, he has no body blade. He's just stuck with 3. He's gonna go down. No pass like a bird. They taste this rocky fist. Killing spree for the Tiny, and they found Moon, but Moon beats to safety. They get
Radiant's
the bat out, but the
tower
troll still
is
goes
under
down.
attack.
My goodness, this is actually looking fantastic for Neon. They've got a 8k net worth lead. They've got Scam, who's finished up his Orchid. Going to go for 4 staff next into a Hurricane Pipe. So lots of kite ability, especially up against that Troll. And even for anyone that's potentially going to get hit by the lasso, for example, you got a 4 staff that can push them away from Moon. Makes it harder for Moon to engage. You have to go much deeper.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Force 5 Legion Commander, all you need is to press the attack.
All you need
dividends
is attack speed.
Just the push.
So I tried to make that rhyme, it didn't quite work.
Dire's top tower
General
is under
feeling
attack.
fantastic this game though. He must have thought that, oh, this Legion game is going to be quite tough this game. I'll be here for the press the attacks, and then after that, 20 minutes in, it's okay guys, I'm going for my blink dagger.
Yopaj does go down. I think they caught him being slightly over-aggressive, but Neon Esports, they are not stopping down the train. I think the top lane just so much damage. Goodbye, Moon. Rappy on a killing spree. They have DJ in the vicinity, jabs there as well with the Winter's Curse. Play hard, 50% health, but he has the urn to heal himself up. The rest of FNATIC, they're TPing top. Fearless, no call though. Maybe they're gonna try it onto Rappy, as Rappy now found a 4-star. With the hook shot, Rappy not having the help to survive. There's a scream of pain. Damage should be done to DJ. Just as well, silenced out by the Orchid, but he drops it. It's gonna force Scam to kill
Dire's
off the
middle
Queen of
tower
Pain,
is under
and
attack.
Jazz will escape. But meanwhile, Savage goes down off screen, and that is not the fight that you want. And Fearless caught out by both Jano and Yopaj. Yopaj looking for him. Does have the blink. Retro. Fearless trying to get out. They had the fresh Orchid. Scam is in right on time, and the last toss will finish off this puck. It is Neon still coming out on top this fight.
Neon are going to start taking these towers. They're winning the fights, but it just seems like they're fighting, then they sort of go back to farming, roaming, fighting, roaming. They need to take the objectives down, because at some point they've got a high ground. The longer you leave this game going, the Troll will find farm. Of course, 23 Savage is dying, but
is under
at the
attack.
end of the day, the Troll doesn't really need to commit to these fights, right? He just sort of wants to farm, keep it low on the low down, get that farm, and sort of be that force that his team needs him to be.
Yeah, this is where you want to translate your network in the nation's profit and the partner and kind of push it forward.
Yeah.
Neon Esports, 9k goal advantage, 19 minutes in, they get the duel onto Moon. They might not be able to get damage, but they definitely will get the kill as Moon will go down once more. Essence Ring found by 23 Savage. Pretty decent item for the Troll, good for the Clockwork as well. Same for the Bat Rider, depends on who they want to put it on. But Neon Esports, they need to start translating all these pickups to tower pushes, to objectives. They are not doing that just yet.
Not quite.
It's a matter of time where they need to realize that these towers will be the structures that give them the victory. But they're taking control over this triangle, which is where the Troll wants to be in. They forced the Troll out of the jungle. He has not gone on the battlefield just yet, which is fantastic news. 20 minutes in, and this Troll is absolutely crippled.
But the thing is he going to be crippled for the entire game, right? It really depends on whether Neon's got to press the issue here, and not just on the heroes, but they've got to grab some high ground. Really applies pressure onto FNATIC, because even though they're getting pressured all over the map,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
FNATIC are still trying to maximize their farm. They've got heroes all over the place in the
Radiant's
jungle,
top
in the lane.
tower is under
and
attack.
to be completely fair, I
Dire's
think
bottom
FNATIC
tower
don't
is under
care
attack.
whether 23 Savage is dying. Now, of course, this is horrible. You you've lost your troll.
The Blink Dagger, the duel, because the troll is not bad, so it doesn't really matter. You have the
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's turret has been killed.
And it gets forced out away. Winter's Curse not going to do too much to your part. It seems like FNATIC, the idea of engaging in this fight completely thwarted by the arrival of Scam and the rest of Neon Esports, and now they can chase everyone down. It seems like Jab, nothing to save him. He has
Dire's
the
middle
top of
tower
the
is under attack.
in place of death as this Winter Wyvern will fall for another 30 seconds. FNATIC just not able to keep up with Neon Esports. This
Radiant
should be
structures
a
are
huge win
fortified.
for Neon.
We're finally going to start taking down these towers. So I think once they've taken all the T2s,
Dire's
they still
middle
need to
tower
consider those
has
2
fallen.
towers down bottom, but they've got to look at Roche at some point, especially when you want to go high ground. Get Aegis, push up high ground, finish the game before 23 Savage has a chance to come back.
We're gonna start things off by finishing off Moon. Essence Ring is off, but there's gonna be a free damage. General 56 damage on this post-5 Legion Commander. I mean, Neon Esports, they had a bit
Dire's
of fun
bottom
memeing
tower
me not
is under attack. Dire's
recognizing the
bottom
post-5
tower
void,
has
but
fallen.
guys, I called out the post-5 Legion Commander. Take credit for that. I'll see you guys on Twitter.
Oh goodness.
14k goal lead for Neon Esports, and FNATIC struggling to farm across the map.
They're still farming though, so they're not falling into that trap where
Radiant's
you play
top
very
tower
defensively
is
hide
under
within your
attack.
base, because you have to farm at the end of the day, right? Now the good news here is that 23 Savage has finished up his Battle Fury, so he is going to start flash farming that
Radiant's
jungle. As
top
long as that
tower
top
is
jungle
under
isn't
attack.
occupied by someone from Neon, then of course 23 Savage is just going to farm the hell out of it. Now you've got to be worried about this, right? As Neon, I think the moment they see the Battle Fury, they have to say, guys, we have to speed this up now, because if you have one messy team fight and you're dealing with that troll, the cleave can come in clutch. We've seen it happen before, and you can't underestimate the potential of that troll if you get some of those lucky bashes with the cleave.
They just need to get one fight or crucial pick off and go for it. Push him down. So much magic damage. 23 Savage not going to survive that. DJ wants to get out. Do they have to cancel it? Yes, they have. Geno comes in. He has the damage, and he's going to get some extra one. Not really, but the kill is confirmed. Doesn't matter, President has to keep Rafi alive. Rafi stands right there, silence up, and he has the Glimmer Cape. You get the ultimate on top of Fearless. Fearless, he wants to get out, has the face shift, but General is right on top of him, and Fearless, well, he's gonna go down to triple kill for this nation's prophet. FNATIC, they move forward. It might be 5, if they find more, they have the Avalanche to stop the TP, and the Pony Rider will be sent back. See you later. They're gonna look at potential damage on the tier 3 mid.
And they don't even need the Aegis for it. They're just going to go straight high ground. This is fantastic.
Dire's
for Neon.
middle tower
Take
is
these
under
Draxes
attack.
and really
Dire's
just put that fear into
structures are
FNATIC.
fortified.
Oh goodness.
Oh.
Very close.
I was scared for a second. If that was Savage, that would be a tier 3 for sure. As the Hurricane Pike does.
Look at Scam though. Scam doesn't care.
He's paying off for Scam.
He just wants that tower.
There's no glyph, so the next fight is gonna be a tier 3 tower for sure.
I think they're just looking to invade the jungle. Just clear out the Dire jungle.
Yeah, and you have to remember, the last fight, Sonic Wave was not used at all. They still have the Sonic Wave, they have low cooldown ultimates, the duel is back up, the life drain is there. And so Neon Esports, they have so much room to work with right
Dire's
now.
bottom tower
Then
is under
Daniel's
attack.
building that attack speed. He's going to go for carry Legion, position 5.
Oh man, Scam just amping up the pace, going for more push with that Dazzle pickup. You also have the Mac on to play hard. She found another one, Jab.
Radiant are scanning.
These damage item on this Legion
Radiant's
Commander when
top
you get it
tower
from
is under
Obi-Wan.
attack.
Plus 74.
Dire's bottom
He's getting
tower
pretty
is under
close to just
attack.
turning into a monster himself.
Yeah, and because there's no glyph, FNATIC have no way of defending their tier 2 towers. They're actually making a
Dire's
move on the
bottom
left
tower
side, on
has
Are they going to try and snatch Roche?
the western side of the map.
Are they thinking about it?
Dire's
I don't
bottom
think they
tower
could.
is under
They could
attack.
snatch it with the troll now. There's no way.
This is not worth it. Even if they get the road, they're gonna lose to tier 3s. And I think FNATIC know that there's no way that they're defending the tier 3.
Radiant's
But
top
defend, though,
tower
because
is
it
under
looks like we're not
attack.
seeing any TPs. They're all just occupying that top lane.
There's no way to defend. There's no glyph. They cannot
Radiant's
fight.
top
TP
tower
coming in, though,
is
you'll
falling.
fight. See you later, nerds. Sonic was committed. They're gonna lose 23 Savage once more. Moons wants to get up, but can he get in for the duel? Nope, Januel not fast enough. But it's good enough for Neon Esports. Now they can turn to Roshan.
Yeah, right next to the Roche pit. They got the runes spawned in as well. So this is going to be easy Roche, I suppose, unless they don't want to go for it. Looks like they are pushing lanes instead.
Tier 2, Rappy. Sees Fearless. Spotlight trading. Being used by this puck. Body block. He wants to maintain that vision. Fearless has to get away. Another force stab. Nether Blast does land. Fearless trying to get away. Trying to a bit of a juke, but not enough. Recall also committed. Playhard is there to claim the kill.
This is such a tough game for FNATIC because they picked all these heroes that want to team fight. They've got BKB piercing disabled. They sort of tried to prepare themselves for a late game situation, but it's just...
This fight is all about the control. The control not coming online. Now you get a battle trend. They want to take out Scam. Scam with the Sprout actually able to track the 23 Savage. There's no way to kill Scam. Scam gets forced out onto the high ground. Now you have no battle trend. There's 23 Savage. He's savagely running around like a barbarian. He needs to find a kill, but he gets used up. And Yopa is waiting for him to come right down, toss him into the air. This song is not getting out. They even silence him up.
See you later, nerds.
20 Savage is just unfortunate indeed. And see you later, nerds. Back to the base. Yopa is wicked sick, and it's a 21,000 gold lead for Neon Esports.
I think at this rate, 23 Savage is just seeing trees. Every team fight, he's getting sprouted, he's getting silenced, he's getting avatars. He just can't, he has no sense of control in these team fights. And of course, the biggest reason for that is that he doesn't have access to BKB, but even if he gets BKB, then Sprout. His biggest weakness.
And Neon...
It's almost like he can't battle trance, because if he doesn't get the bash onto Scam within the first couple of hits, once that Sprout lands, it's over for the troll.
Neon needs to play faster than he does that. Great press the attack to keep your punch alive.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But they have the damage, though it doesn't seem like that's the case. Crab on the General just to keep him alive. The siege will halt for now, but the damage is still done on that tier 3 in the top lane.
And I love the items coming out too from Neon. They're actually trying to make sure that they can safely go high ground. BKB,
No! Get back. No press yet. Better result from DJ. FNATIC finally fighting one kill after so long. You let us queen on game. They push it back with the coffee. Silence him up. Waiting with also committed. This should be a kill. No! Playhard blinks away just in time to cut the use on top of it. Wolf is looking for that potential flame break, but Playhard blinks away once more. Rappy is there to back him up, and FNATIC, they have to call this off.
They only got the Legion out of that too. That is, they would love to grab that kill onto Playhard as well. Like anything at this rate, they're basically just collecting scraps to try and recover from this sort of horrible early game that Neon has really given them. You have to say though, props to Neon. They've constantly just applied all this pressure and basically hit FNATIC where it really hurts. They went right after them after laning stage. Fearless. I don't think we ever got to see FNATIC play around Fearless during the mid game. It was always them reacting to Neon.
Yeah, and if you look at the net worth of this troll right now, across almost 10 minutes, he only got 2.2k net worth. That is such a bad place for them to be in. They're gonna lose more than once more. They even go down, FNATIC wave to guarantee the extra damage. Plus 92. 1/3 of a Divine Rapier available on the
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Scam will solo the rest of Roshan and get that Aegis for himself.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They are on fire today. And for anyone that's cheering for FNATIC, you got to be thinking, wait, this doesn't feel like FNATIC. Just for anyone that's not quite sure what is actually going on with FNATIC, they're actually playing with the stand-in. So Ice is not playing today. They're actually having Fearless come in. And I believe Fearless is actually going to be taking mid. So then Moon will be taking the off-lane role just for today.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
I think a lot of other people will watch it. I think it's fair to say that maybe we expected something different from FNATIC, but maybe it's just Neon showing up too.
Yeah, I think Neon definitely showed up. Scam, solo Q onto Jabs. We did set the premise during the draft, even before the drafting phase, that these two teams, they are innovative, they are really creative. You look at how Neon has progressed throughout the entire league. I guess at one point you would see this coming, right? We even talk about the chances of Neon being able to take a game out of FNATIC. And game 1, they are already showing that to everyone.
This is good for Neon too, because of course at this rate you still need they're in the lower brackets so far in their current placement. They're 6th so far on the leaderboard. They're running at 10 points. Let's say they won the series with FNATIC, or heck, if they can even 2-0. If they 2-0, that might guarantee a
Dire's
upper
top
bracket
tower
finish, which
is
would
under
be
attack.
huge for someone like Neon.
Yeah, not too bad for their last series of the regular season. They're going to take down their tier 3
Dire's
tower in
top
the top
tower
lane.
has fallen.
And this will be the official first rack for
Dire's
Neon
structures
Esports.
are
So many
fortified.
pushing power. The glyph is forced out, but it's not going to matter too much.
Dire's top
FNATIC, they
barracks
need
are
to
under
find a way to
attack.
get in, but Scam
Radiant
has a fresh
structures are
bloodthorn.
fortified.
This guy is almost max slotted at 30 minutes into the game. 22k net worth.
Dire's top
There is
barracks
no
has
one that can
fallen.
stop this. Nature's Prophet 7-0 in terms of KD.
If there is one person that could
Dire's middle
potentially
tower
stop
is
this
under attack.
harassment coming out from Neon, it's got to be 23 Savage. But he needs to set up from his team right. He
Dire's
needs the
middle
perfect
tower
Winter's
has
Curse. They need
fallen.
the perfect coil. Everything
Dire's
has to
middle
land
barracks
perfectly
are
to
under
set up
middle
for that
barracks
Troll Warlord
has
because
fallen.
he's had a hell of a time this game, getting constantly ganked, not able to get his items on time. I think he's still sitting on only that battle fury.
Dire's
He's
middle
aiming for
barracks
BKB
has
next,
fallen.
but I don't know if the BKB really changes anything for him this game.
This is mega good for
Dire's
Neon.
bottom
This throw
barracks
is
are under
12k
Dire's bottom
behind.
barracks.
Where's
has
FNATIC?
fallen.
23 Savage is in the
Nature's
jungle.
Prophet. They can't fight this. This is going to be the last hurrah for FNATIC. When you're post on 12k,
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. The Radiants
a
now have mega
ton of
creeps.
trouble. And Neon, they are not going to stop. They're going to start taking out the structures, cleaning up the base.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
is under attack.
Monster Fearless, he buys back, but General, he breaks the 100 damage mark with that duel. 23 Savage finally joins the base, but it's going to be sprouted out. And this Spirit Vessel on top of them. Courtesy of Play Hard, Scam. He's like, I don't want kills no
Hold
more.
on.
I just want the win.
23 Savage dying. He's very low.
Scam goes on 1 for 2, 3. You can hear that, but it seems like there's no way the man can fight it. That's a GG. Neon Esports convincingly dismantled the kings of Southeast Asia in this game 1.
Wow, gosh, if you're Neon, I could just
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're playing together, but if they are, you have to think they've all got to be so happy with this victory.
Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make it a microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could've played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever wanna try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp. Make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic. Yo, give it a stage in a minute, I'ma eat you. El profesor is in the house, let me teach you. I could defeat you with two hands tied and have you waking in the hospital like, who am I? And who are you? Who are they? What is this? You wouldn't believe how someone react to this shit. The mind slips, slipping, speaking in tongues. Sly ink, GVA, that's how we get it done. 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 Sly ink, GVA, that's how we get it done. Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make it a microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could've played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever wanna try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp. Make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic.
make sure to check out One Esports merchandise store at shop.oneesports.gg. Make sure you purchase with the promo code CDOTA10 as well for some 10% discount.
Right, so we're going to be starting up the next game in just a moment. So, actually, right now. Let's jump into the draft right now. Of course, FNATIC can be playing at full force. They've got Ice on the roster for the rest of the day. I want to say game for some reason, but Ice will be joining the team for the rest of the day.
Remaining.
Neon, obviously, they're going to have a bit of a high as a team, right? They've won their first game.
Remaining.
Of course, if they can secure a 2-0 victory, that'll be huge for Neon. So, what are the things that you're going to have to look out for going into this next game? Because I'm very sure FNATIC are going to be a little heated after that one.
Timberban.
And right off the bat, FNATIC paid respect to Scam's Furon, ban out the Furon, and this is the impact of ISSS as well. Having to present them, it takes away one ban already.
Yeah, and I mean, we watched a full montage of ISSS trolling people back in the days before the broadcast.
We did.
Good to see him back.
It was funny.
I like how he called super lazy back in the day. That was
10
funny.
seconds remaining.
The good old days when he was still young. I mean, he still looks young.
I love how you like kind of backtrack there just to make sure you're not getting into Ice's bad books. Good job, Husky. I'm proud of you. All right.
He's a good troll, and that's what makes him special.
Yep. Right, so they're waiting for this next pick from FNATIC. Now, we've seen them be very keen with the Winter Wyvern, right? They always first pick Winter Wyvern, especially the Bat Rider. They love Bat, but now they're going to switch it up a little bit and add in the Doom. Now, of course, we don't know what lane this Doom is going to be in. I think we've seen Ice play it. There is the opportunity for Moon to play it since teams have also been flexing the mid Doom as well. So, if you're looking at this as Neon, how do you sort of play around the Doom? Because Doom changes the dynamic of the game, right? Because once someone gets hit with Doom, they're basically useless until the Doom duration ticks out.
Yeah, I think traditionally there's two ways for you to fight a Doom. One is that you want to pick hero that ignores the Doom, Wraith King. Another way is that you want to pick hero that can take down Roshan really quickly, so you utilize on the Aegis to fight the Doom, because having a second life is always good. And that's another third way as well. Pick Spectre, eat the Doom, buy back Horn back again, and fight. I think that's one of the very least approach though. Least pick approach, but there's a possibility for that. Yeah. Especially if we are playing a very early pick Doom, there's a lot of ways you can go. You have 3 picks left.
Speaking of that style, could you maybe also do the same thing with, let's say, Ember Spirit or Weaver, right? You can time-lapse back into the fight and then Ember goes back with his Remnants. Like, could you also look at those options?
Yeah, those are the possibilities. Yeah,
or you just have items or skills that can kind of save you from a Doom, like your Force Staff, your Lotus Orb, Lincoln Sphere, False Promise. All these spells are pretty decent. All your status resistance right from your items. You go for the God King build, your Satanic, Sergeant Yasha, Halberd, on just a few examples. But Doom in general, strong laner, lots of damage.
FNATIC
support Doom from Esports yesterday. They put height on their post 4 Doom and they actually crushed the game. So this, I say there's a possibility, but knowing FNATIC, this is most likely a core Doom for them.
I find it rather interesting here. I'm not sure if you guys are going to agree with me, so feel free to disagree. Anti-Mage banned out from Neon. Now, would you kind of want to play with the Anti-Mage this game? Because firstly, he has mana burn, right? Great against the Bat and the Doom. Both of these heroes, they need their mana to actually cast their spells. But secondly, Anti-Mage is a defensive skill. It can kind of stop them in their tracks by casting the Lasso on the Doom because he's got the spell shield.
Yeah, I think Anti-Mage most of the time is a very respect ban against FNATIC, because FNATIC we've seen them play a lot of Force Protect 1 and they're just split pushing, do all the shenanigan stuff to buy time for 20 Savage. And this is something teams finds very hard to deal with. You have to outmaneuver FNATIC, and that's very impossible in most of the time. That's why I think that's the biggest reason they ban out the Anti-Mage.
And what Neon Esports did to kind of deal with that problem last game was that they pick heroes who have global presence or with high mobility. Queen of Pain, a Nature's Prophet, and they always make sure that they are active on the map, so most of the times they have the map control, but you're not going to get that luxury in this game. There we go, the Oracle comes out. You kind of expected this to happen. Janual playing his signature Oracle, can't wait to see it. But FNATIC, they ban out the Wraith King. They know if this Wraith King goes over to Neon Esports, your Doom is not going to have a good time dealing with this core.
What other alternatives can you go for here that Scam would want to play that doesn't really mind the Doom so much?
5 seconds remaining.
I think anything that carries SNY Sardonic would be really good here.
Terrorblade would be okay.
Yeah, Terrorblade would be fine too. It's just that you always have to worry about the Bat Rider being flags to the tree because you don't really want to pick a carry that is a melee hero. But you have the Oracle behind of you, so that's kind of fine.
Isn't there a good chance that FNATIC could pick up the Terrorblade themselves if they're running the Venge?
They definitely have a good chance. They have a Venge there. Terrorblade looks really juicy for FNATIC right now. And if they go for the Terrorblade, I think Neon Esports might have to fall back. I think FNATIC can also go for the Luna. It really depends on what they want right now. Okay, so they pick the Mirana.
Oh, alright.
Cat Lady strat? I'm waiting.
If you want TB, this is the time to pick it for Neon. You don't want them to make the same mistakes as New Esports yesterday, right? Where the fourth pick is where you need to lock in that core, and they didn't.
Oh, that was T1.
Oh, that was T1. My mistake. Yeah,
T1. I mean, technically, 23 Savage could also play the Mirana, right?
Radiant we've seen that before.
Yeah, so
Venom. I guess not.
Is this to deter a potential Ursa? No, Ursa banned. Wait, so what's the Venomancer's role here? Is it to maybe slow down the Doom?
I feel like this is a Yopaj Tiny again. General, Oracle, play hard Pain, Rappy, Venom. They're keeping Scam for last.
So what's Rappy's role here?
I think Venomancer particularly against the Bat Rider is really good. You always have the Plague Ward to scout out the Bat Rider. Against any Blink Initiator, the Plague Ward is always really good. Also, all the spells, right, because it does damage over time, so it's very hard for you to dispel that and blink away. And we know Rappy's hero, right? Necroforce, Chan, Venomancer, the Pugna, the green heroes most of the time. I think this is a hero that allows them. He's gonna play the role that he buy all the aura items, buy all the utility items, and then he's also very strong in the lane so far.
Yeah.
Unless FNATIC put the Bat Rider against the Venomancer, then that's a big problem for the Venomancer.
I wonder what else Esports can go for the post one. There's not too much choices left. They have the Spectre. That's one of the heroes that is not too bad against the Doom. You kill him, he comes back with the Haunt.
For Neon, so this is all pre-patch suggestions, so they do have Bloodseeker, and I know teams like to run the Bloodseeker with Venom. So Bloodseeker on steroids.
The TB ban. Saw this coming from FNATIC.
Other options. So apparently Scam can also play the Venom.
Yeah, we've seen Venom 1 from Scam and Raging Potato when he was still with Neon. So that is a possibility. But if you run the post 1 Venom, then you need to play even faster than game 1.
I mean, we saw Yopaj was definitely able to do it on the Tiny in the last game.
Yeah, but you don't have the Nature's Prophet to rotate alongside you. Venom is
very slow. You don't really want to play this hero as a post 1 because most of the time you cannot decide your own fate, because when you walk into the team fight, you are just there, you cannot move anymore.
Yeah, Venom is lazy, doesn't like to walk around.
He's lazy.
Slow and lazy.
Just have someone carry him everywhere.
It's just not made to go around the map. He doesn't even have legs. Look at him, he has to slither his way. Slug banned by Neon, by FNATIC.
So a couple of other options here for Skim. He plays DP. That's another hero that kind of wants to go fast. I guess DP doesn't really care as long as she gets her Exorcism off, right?
Yeah, there's one good hero against Doom.
With the Oracle to protect the DP, it's not too bad.
The final option is DK, but I don't know if they want to go for DK in this game.
Yeah, DK is way too slow.
It feels too slow.
Yeah, I think now they're probably looking at, if they want to go unorthodox, the DP is there. If they want to go a hero that the Oracle protects, a hardcore, you have the Spectre available for Neon.
Honestly, at this point, I don't even know what to expect from Neon Esports.
Post 1 Oracle.
They have to.
Maybe they don't even know.
Maybe they don't even know yet. They have 2 minutes to find out. They have so many boxes to take. They don't have a frontliner so far. They need tower push.
They don't have much hard lockdown either.
Yeah, they do have stuns too. I think when you need one hero that take all the boxes, I think
this
Faceless Void is really good.
Alchemist?
Alchemist is okay too.
There's also the Alchemist for Neon. Faceless Void is okay, honestly. I wouldn't mind the Faceless Void for Neon. As long as he doesn't get Doom, he can do his work. You just need to get the chrono off. I think if you play Faceless Void, you need to be the guy to start the fight. You need to get the jump onto FNATIC. Yeah,
that's really hard because you are going to play against a Vengeful Spirit, so the swap is always going to be devastating.
Yeah. And only Tiny is really there to set up, right? Quap's not really great for setup. Oracle, if the Oracle's that far forward, I don't know what to say. For Neon, what are they going to go for? They've got a minute left in reserve time.
Yeah, all these huge cores are banned out. You still have the Juggernaut as well, but it's not good at all against FNATIC's lineup.
I mean, if Neon wants to go all in fighting, they can go for the Ember Spirit.
You have the Medusa Oracle, but again, I don't know. I think Neon wants to look at the mid game right now, like how they've always done. Just look at the mid game, see what hero you want to pick to push the tempo. I think Alchemist is the most straightforward hero. Faces Void is there. If they want to go late, you always have the Spectre as a choice.
FNATIC's turn to pick.
Okay,
Okay, so they're gonna go for the
we're gonna fall back to the
stacked Bloodseeker with the Venom combo.
Steroids.
Oh yeah. We've seen this strat I think 2-3 times. It was all losses though.
Yeah, win rate wasn't very high for them.
No. But I mean, the heroes that they can go for with the Bloodseeker this game, it's quite good. You look at FNATIC, they don't really have the best sustain, so if the fights go quite long, of course that's great for Schem, right? Because it will sort of want to dart in, grab that kill, dart out.
Drow Ranger. You may now select your heroes.
Drow's not too bad, isn't she? She's got Gust, they've got the swap as well to protect the Drow.
Yeah, but mostly you want to play Drow. You don't want to play Drow against heroes that can rush into your face.
Yeah. But they've only got 2 heroes that can do that, right?
I think this is the same concept as yesterday when they were like a bench lineup. I believe it was it Boom against New, where I think New Esports picked a disruptor and then Boom went for a bench. And then all you have to do, you swap the core out of your away from the enemy, right? In this case, the Bloodseeker. So as long as this bench is alive, killing Drow is not that easy.
And I do like that they have Doom and Rider, both of them give very solid lockdown as well.
Yeah,
and they want to be in the front too,
10
right?
seconds
so that
remaining.
they are going to give a lot of protection.
5 seconds remaining.
It's pretty decent. Someone away. No way that you can take out the Drow. Drow go against edgy hero because she ignores armor with the marksmanship. It's not going to be an easy game for Neon. I think that FNATIC, last game it was probably because of standard, right? Neon played fast, they had their best heroes, but this time I think Neon, they are in a more uncomfortable zone.
Yeah,
Right.
I have to agree with that.
Alright, gentlemen, how about predictions? Alright, so we've got Neon over here, we've got FNATIC. I don't even know why I ask you guys these questions.
What?
It looks like the game
Why
is
can't
about...
I go for FNATIC this time?
See, told you.
So you're jumping ship?
No, I'm
Yes, so you're still Neon.
I'm
Thank you
very reasonably looking at the draft.
Thank you, panel. We're going to go jump into this game right now. FNATIC versus Neon. Let's get to it.
Sure.
It's been a reoccurring theme, right? Like game 2 is always the other team. Poor guy, you didn't even let him.
I don't need to. That's fine. He can defend himself when we go to post panel.
You'll have to do better than that.
You'll be a horrible jury.
I know, that's why I'm not.
Amateur.
I'd fail in the first year.
It would fail the justice system.
Prepare for battle.
I'll stick to game design, it's fine. Anyways, got a second match here between FNATIC versus Neon, and of course Neon, they've got to be really happy with themselves. They've got their first victory already. They've secured their 1 point, but the question is, can they get 2 more in the second game?
Oh man, if they get this changes the upper brackets.
It does, doesn't
they
it?
overtake Boom, they overtake GEEK Fam, and they guarantee themselves upper brackets.
They guarantee upper bracket. I'm not sure if they guarantee 3rd place, because that's where they're going to end up. I think it'll be tough. There's a good chance that GEEK Fam's probably going to pass over Neon if they do get that 2-0, because GEEK Fam they've still got how many more matches? 3 more matches to go. Yeah, so plenty of openings for GEEK Fam to sort of get more points. So it'll be tough to guarantee 3rd, but I think 4th. Yeah.
There's a DJ Mirana, so
Disco ballin'.
See you later, nerds. See you later, nerds. What do you call this? Consumable, I don't know, accessories, whatever they are called. I think every year there is always a new one. I think last year you have last year when you dig something, it's the shovel, the purple shovel. That is now a neutral item. Yep. This year it's just a portal.
What if they're actually doing that to test items and be like, hey, could this be a viable neutral item? Who knows? Who knows?
It could be.
I'm just waiting for the snake balloon to be a neutral item.
Oh, Nice.
Come on, it's my favorite.
Oh, the anti-mage
Don't
big
judge.
hit.
No. We're getting a persona. We don't need more anti-mage stuff.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of Pudge as well. Collector Cash as Pudge.
Oh, Pudge is everywhere.
We have the
Let's be
Toy Pudge
realistic.
persona. Yeah, I just
And
realized.
Mirana. There's a lot of Mirana. Everyone, I know there's a lot of people out there that love cats, but come on, we need to give Luna some love. Ridiculous.
To play Luna long enough, Luna's cosmetics will eventually be released. But what was the Moon?
And then when Dota 3 comes out, thanks, Hosky.
you know, there's never gonna be a 3, right? Like historically, 3 has not been a number that exists in that dictionary.
I don't know. Dota might be the first one. You gotta wait. You gotta give it a chance.
10 more years to go. How long has Dota been around? I think more than 10 years. Yeah, I've got another decade to wait. No problem.
Okay, when you get too old, it's fine. So far, it looks like the matchup here, Moon versus Yopaj. And of course, you saw what Yopaj could do with the time. You've got to be careful here if you're playing. I think Moon must be happy to come back into the mid lane because he had to play offlane bat last game.
Yeah, this slightly changes things up a bit. You have the Ice Doom. And I think for this game, Neon Esports, nothing too funny, and no position 5 Void or Leader Commander. They're sticking with their guns. They know that with Ice now back into the main roster, or at least coming back to play in this game too, it's going to be harder. But Japs being pushed out by Rappy. Venom's are pretty decent against this Bat Rider early on.
I think Venom's great for trading, right? Especially if you're just going to go for these constant right clicks, because Venom, he's got the Gale. There's a good chance that if you're not careful, he could just completely punish the Bat Rider.
Yep. Yeah, Poison.
The Poison Sting's really great too.
Yeah, the Venomous Gale, you have the Fortunes and Purifying Flames.
Is the Drow dead?
Savage getting ran down. They should be able to get first burst. Savage turns around. Multi-shot.
I don't think he's...
But Purifying Flames is dead. General. Take a sour shot. You have the Magic and the Purifier, but he still dies to Jab. The Firefly runs on top of Rappy, but Rappy has the Venomous Gale. The Napalm is there, but Rappy just wants to run away. Come on.
He might have to
get TP.
Get out.
Multi-shot. 5 stacks of Napalm. Enough for Jab.
Too much damage. I mean, that's great though. Jab's just getting a whole bunch of EXP from being able to sit there. And what can you do as a Veno, right? You've already got the Gale to protect yourself. If he had Plague Wards, maybe the Plague Wards would have been able to help slow down the Bat Rider, but then you wouldn't have had the Gale or the Poison Sting.
Yeah, could have been worth it if he made it out, but...
The level 3, I think, would have been the saving grace there for Rappy, but... It is what it is. They ended up killing the Drow. I guess that's like the biggest thing, right?
The Drow doesn't lose too much. So when Rappy died, Drow will already TP back to lane, so catch the wave. And Yopaj this time not gonna have such a good time as he had in game 1. Tiny, his armor is non-existent. We have this wave of terror from Moon. You can easily just trade with this Tiny, no problem.
Yeah, and then just range as well, so can actually kite the Tiny, whereas Tiny has to commit an Avatos if he wants to do any kind of damage to a Vengeful Spirit. The Doom is doing fantastic in the offlane. I mean, what can we really expect? Bloodseeker, Queen of Pain. I mean, how are they going to really pressure out the Doom to begin with? And they've also got to be careful of DJ coming in, because if you get a stray arrow, I think that's just a guaranteed kill down here.
Jab. No way to stop him, unfortunately. And Jab TP's out. That's probably going to be an early boost for him as you talk about the arrow. Ice getting ran down. Scream of Pain from Playhard takes out Ice. And Scam is just going to try and man-fight DJ. DJ stands his ground. And he realizes he can't fight it. He leaps away. Turns around with Sacred Arrow.
See you later, nerds.
What's this? Mirana. Double kill for himself.
You don't want to be trading with that Bloodseeker. This is great for Scam. We know that Scam, he can be a very hyper-aggressive player himself. So if he can get that early injection of gold through small engagements, it's huge.
Yep, and Ice actually got Chain Lightning from the Harpy.
In other words, no fun.
I was wondering where was that static noise from. Well, now we know. As a general, he did fall to Moon. I think they tried to gank Moon, but it's a carry back. Right clicks you to death.
Good chance that Bat Rider might go for another wraparound here. Oracle is in lane. Or is he going to go mid? I think Japs is just trying to scout out the jungle and see if there's any stacks.
And there's a 5-minute rune as well, so Japs is patiently waiting for that rune to come out. Meanwhile, Playhard not in a good spot as Scam. Gonna make a detour by that Chain Lightning from Ice. Almost kills a Playhard. He does blink to safety. 5-minute rune secured by FNATIC in the bot lane as
Dire
Scam is living life
structures
on
are
the edge, but
fortified.
he can zap you.
The prize is mine.
Zapping Scam, but even fortifies that great way to make sure the Scam doesn't heal back up with the Blood Rage. Another zap. There we go.
He's constantly zapping. He's running out of mana though, so Ice is gonna have to retreat at some point. Arrow just lands onto a creep. They're very low down here. They've got to bring in some regen. There's a good chance they could go for another kill, but because they're just so weak, the HP thresholds are so low, there's a potential to actually die. But DJ gonna rotate out of lane, maybe try and land an arrow onto Yopash. It's nighttime too, so this is the best time to try and land those arrows.
Radiant are
takes
scanning.
Cap away. Takes a big centaur away from Tiny. Yopash can still stack this if he wants, but the power rune is coming up, so that one's definitely more important.
They've rotated out the Queen of Pain from that bottom lane, so Scam is alone. If anything hits him here, any kind of disable, it's probably going to be a dead blood seeker.
Yopash pretty lucky though, he does get the haste rune as DJ takes away another big jungle creep, the Hellbear Smasher. It's going to be the victim this time. But all in all, FNATIC shouldn't run into too much problems out of the stack. Stolen away by Jabs.
Yeah. If you look at laning efficiency, actually, everyone on the side of FNATIC is going to have some kind of gold income. Right? You've got Rana going around just arrowing the big creeps, and you've got Jabs just sitting on the Bat Rider going with the Napalm Firefly. And they catch
Yopash, he has the haste, the avalanche, they have to toss by, but I think the damage is there though. And the Purifying Flames, the right click is enough, multi-shot. Doesn't do enough damage to kill off Jano. Jano has 4 stacks of Napalm on him, doesn't get off with the fortunes and also stops Jabs in his track. Yopash just waiting for the avalanche, 3 more seconds. Jabs wants to turn around with Firefly, buying some time, Rappy is in, and Jabs will be able to make a detour and get out.
Oh, Mirana's coming in. Does DJ want to try and throw an arrow?
TJ's thinking about it, but there's no follow-up, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just him.
Radiant
a little bit too far away.
Fortified.
So it's just going to be
Dire's
free kills
top
again.
tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
As well, killing off that draw.
Must be a big pain in the backside for 23 Savage today, right? He's just had a horrible troll game for game 1, and he's just, again, being pressured non-stop, but this time on the Drow. But I guess there is a bit of a difference between the two of them, right? Like, Troll has to sort of put himself out there to farm, whereas now you've got the defensive mechanisms, you've got Moonlight Shadow to help you. You've also got the swap from the Vengeful Spirit, and you've also got two really tanky front lines that can kind of help you out, whereas, yeah, things on Troll, kind of had to get in there, potentially die. You can't really expect too much from 23 Savage in that last game.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully it's better for him though. The team's sort of going to be in the front lines to protect that Drow. It's good to see FNATIC sort of picking something new for 23 Savage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He's been playing more or less the same heroes. Lots of Troll.
Oh yeah, lots of Troll. I think he did play the, what was that, Nature's Prophet? Oh, Iron Talon. Good item for the Drows. More of that. Meanwhile, won't get it gone on. Has the magic missile to prevent the toss, but Rupture. There's so much damage when Scam comes in, picks up the kill. He's on a killing spree right now.
We're starting to see these kills rack up for Neon, and it looks like Rappy's actually chasing down Jabs. Now the big bat is now being chased by the giant banana.
Oh, he's got your partner.
He takes it. Sorry, Rappy, it's mine.
Yeah, it's like, thank you very much for the effort, A, for that, but the kill is mine. Immediate smoke up. This is what Neon likes to do. They
Radiant's
get a pick
bottom
up,
tower
they smoke
is
up,
under
they
attack.
rotate, and they saw 23 Savage in the back.
Dire's top tower is under
TP in
attack.
the bench as well. They want to go for the first push, and Neon, they're making a huge rotation. Play hard, trying to buy as much time as he can. The arrow does miss. Play hard, managing TP to safety. That is the best case scenario that Neon Esports can hope for. But
is under attack.
They should be able to come in for a collapse. They have the ward, they have the vision.
Scam's coming back in as well.
Dire's
They just
top
need to
tower
take
is under
Savage out.
attack.
Yopan, run right in. You have the fortress and immediately they're gonna burst out 23 Savage. There's nothing that they can do. As Rapid comes in, pulling the poison over. He jumps inside of the floor, right on top of Full Moon and DJ leads away. They get the Yopan, but Moon will fall. And as he's isolated, 4 members of Neon Esports on top of Lucifer. And even the devil himself might find it hard to escape this. It does get the kill with the help of Moon on the devil, but he's still not gonna escape. As the illusion from Moon gets a triple kill. Yopash finally kills the White Ties. But at least FNATIC, they trade the support kills in return.
Yeah, they must have 3 calls on the side of FNATIC though, so if you're Neon, you're going to be pretty happy with yourself. They got to keep the pressure up though, right? You can't sort of let FNATIC be the ones to try and maintain the control of the game, because we've seen what happened. And was it Jab's trying to play around with Yopaj, but I don't know if you want to be playing around with this Tiny.
Dire's courier has been
Anyone
killed.
from nearby? Yep, there is. The general. As Yopaj casually just grabs that bounty. Jabs needs to get out, but I think they see him.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah,
Yep.
they're there.
Goodbye, Jabs.
It's all 4 heroes over here for Neon, so that means that's some free farming time there for DJ in the bottom lane. You've got the Drow in the jungle. Ice coming back into lane. But I wonder what time is it for Neon? Like, when's the go? When's the time to sort of just move forward and start really seizing those towers? Because you don't want to farm for too long, right? Especially when you're letting someone like Ice get closer towards his defensive items, going for drums first so he can sort of chase heroes down. You don't want to wait for the Vengeful Spirit as well to start tanking up, because we've seen what's happened with Venge Core. At first it seems like a very wonky hero to put into a core role, but with the changes to how the Venge dies, right? She pops that illusion. She can still cast spells. She's still technically a hero until you kill that illusion.
Yeah, I mean, like, she retains all aura. If you reach level 25, if you want to go for the illusion cast spell talent, you can always go for that. But even without the spells, she's good. She has the aura and the carry Venge.
She hits hard.
And she has the damage.
Yeah, so you kind of just can't ignore Moon, really.
Nope, triple leak by DJ, managing to survive with this life. Smoke from the Patch and General.
So if anything, the timer is really set for Neon. Like, Neon's got to start getting a move on soon.
This is slightly harder than last game though. You don't have a pushing mechanism, right? They are not that good at sieging. Last game you have the Prophet, you have the...
Rappy's the only main pusher with the Plague Wards.
Yeah, but even that, it takes so long. They
Dire's
don't have
middle
natural
tower
pushes,
is under attack.
to put it simply, and it's gonna be... Yeah, it's going to be difficult for them to reenact game 1, but they can still play fast. But they are playing on a huge timer right
Radiant's
now against
bottom
FNATIC.
tower is under attack.
Like game 1, but the conditions for Neon Esports are slightly harsher.
So we've got the mech already here for Rappy. So already building those defensive items. They want to make sure they win those really long engagements. But I love the way that Neon sort of itemizes their heroes, right? They always itemize safely, but also for that moment. They never itemize too early or too late for the game.
Oh yeah, they're hitting their timings pretty decently, you know, the same pace as FNATIC. Meanwhile, gonna find Jabs again. Jabs goes down, but Moon joins the fight. TP is coming in from side. This Doom is gonna kind of almost gets it on the player, and he dooms the illusion. Oh, what a bait from Yopaj. Turn right around. They have the poison Nova. They are right on top of DJ. Down as well as Gap comes to the clean up scrap. What a play from Neon Esports and Ice. One bad Doom, and he's now going to pay with his life to get the avalanche and toss him out. Yopaj is happy with that. Fortune's and to keep him in place, purify flame just enough, and Ice is going to die as well. Neon, they wipe FNATIC outside their base.
Oh, that was phenomenal engagement there from Neon. They actually baited FNATIC in. Of course, once the Doom popped in, they just said, guys, we've got to go now. We don't need to worry about that Doom. It almost makes you wonder, was it either a misclick from Ice, or did he sort of maybe next level himself thinking that, you know, Yopaj... Well, I mean, why would you do the illusion?
I think he didn't know, because...
Yeah.
I mean, play hard. Yeah, he's dead. So what happened was Playhard saw the Doom, and Ice he did saw Yopaj because they killed off Jabs.
Yeah,
Yopaj ran downhill, he popped the illusion rune, and he sent the illusion to walk in beside Playhard, and I think this is the real Tiny.
Exactly. I think he maybe next leveled himself.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It was just big brain plays from Yopaj, and I think dooming the Tiny is the right option, because a Doom Tiny is it's just a cluster of rocks. You know, it does nothing.
I mean, it goes to show what their priority is, right? They are afraid of Yopaj. Because Yopaj comes in, avatars someone, he's technically the biggest threat. Of course, Scam's a big target too, but if you're going to lose somebody instantly, Yopaj has to be that target you want to eliminate before the fight really begins.
Yeah, and great job from Jano as well. He saved Playhard with the false promise. So no one from Neon Esports side died. But Neon, they're gonna smoke up. They're going for bigger fishes right here. They saw FNATIC at the bot side, so they know that the top side is gonna be 23 Savage. Again, a great dust to push away this tiny, but Fortune says right on top of it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It will be enough to give General a kill. Sacred Arrow pushes, flies right through, hits onto no one. They get the rupture, and it seems like FNATIC is trying to turn this around. They get the kill. General flies right through.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
FNATIC and play hard. Does the damage.
Dire's middle tower is under
but the
attack.
rest of FNATIC, they have to back off. Ice is down. Scam looking for DJ. DJ turns around with a point blank Sacred Arrow, but you have Yopaj there, and it is Neon's turn to turn the fight around. FNATIC lose 3 members.
I'm not sure if I'm tripping. Did we swap Scam out of that ball of heroes?
I actually didn't notice. It was a messy fight.
Because I swear Scam was in the middle of the fight. Maybe they were trying to get Scam off of some
I think
point.
they were trying to get Scam away because he didn't rupture Ice. But
that was much earlier on. But it was very... Oh dear.
God damn, play hard. Oh, so good.
This is just not the game so far, it looks like, for FNATIC, even though you're running.
They're going, they see Savage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Damage wasn't enough.
Not quite.
It's gonna push Savage back, and 5.4k net worth, 16 minutes in. This is slightly worse than the Troll Warlock game that he had in game 1.
Dire's middle
I'm not
tower
sure if this
has
is slightly.
fallen.
This seems like a tougher game than the Troll Warlord game. Because every time 23 Savages just steps out onto the map, he's constantly just getting avatars, he's getting ambushed every time. He just doesn't have any kind of freedom.
Oh yeah.
Like, look at how he's moving. He's hiding in the tree lines. I think we haven't really seen 23 Savage play this defensively in such a long time, because usually he's safe in the
You might not be safe. Sonic Wave! It's disintegrates this Doom.
Oh my goodness. Neon are just looking poised to actually
Dire's
take
middle
this
tower
series
is
2-0.
under attack.
And for them, this victory is enormous.
And what a great combo.
See you later, nerds.
It almost just feels like FNATIC didn't expect Neon to come into the series this strong.
Yeah, I mean, the draft of FNATIC, they can play fast, but it's harder to execute for them. Neon Esports draft, really easy, get this tiny ahead, play alongside this tiny, and
Dire's
everyone else will
bottom tower
naturally
is under attack.
get the advantage. So FNATIC, they were not able to create space, as much space as they wanted. Scam is already caught up in terms of net worth, overshadowing Moon right now.
I think we need to be fair here though. The game isn't over, right? It's not done and dusted yet. FNATIC, they still have a chance to come back, but it all comes off the back of whether they can at least dominate one or two of the upcoming
Dire's
team
middle
fights,
tower
because
is under
all it
attack.
takes, especially with the gold mechanic now, one or two
See you later,
And as
nerds.
long as 23
See you later,
can survive,
nerds. See you later,
and especially if Moon can survive as well, they're 2 main damage dealers as of now, they might be able to turn these fights around, because you might be looking at Drow now thinking like, oh, what does the Drow even do? But once Drow starts to really get those items in, the multi-shot hits like a truck.
Yeah, but you have to be aware of all the heroes that can get to the back line, and it's pretty hard for Drow to maneuver around before getting that BKB.
And that's where Moon sort of has to come in, right? It has to be ready to swap out 23 Savage, has to be there with the missile just to make sure that they can get the stun off onto Yopaj. Because the main issue so far is Yopaj, right?
Yeah.
Yopaj just walks in, avatars 23 Savage, and there's nothing FNATIC can do.
Well, it used to be Yopaj, but now it's the whole of Neon Esports. They have gotten themselves they've hit their iron timings. Rappy has agreed right now. Scam has been cleaning up the kills, play hard on this Queen of Pain, the Sonic Wave. Doesn't care about your resistance, it's pure damage. So FNATIC, they kind of need to buy more time for themselves. And actually there's a fun fact about Neon Esports. So if I remember correctly, Yopaj did say in an interview that he only started playing with the team, I think a couple of weeks before they started competing. So a pretty fresh member, but you can see how good he's gelling with the rest of the squad. It's just joins the team, becomes a playmaker.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it, how not just the team, but him, I think, getting better as a player for the team, understanding what the needs are for everybody.
And he's the only tiny that I remember that goes for the Veil of Discord.
Yeah, that's
league.
true.
And he just bought one.
Dire's top tower is under
Normally
attack.
tiny, they kind of peak at one point, right? You can't one-shot someone, but the Veil solved that problem.
We saw one yesterday. Was that in New versus Boom?
Yeah, I think it was.
That was the only other one, I think.
Oh, Savage. He has to just get the heck out of the top lane. There's no way you can stay there.
Dire's top tower
Tier
is
2 is
under
going
attack.
down.
Dire's
And you can see
structures
the
are
itemization
fortified.
from Neon Esports. They went for drum because they know that they have to play fast. Drums is perfect for that. Medium Hammer competed for DJ. It's not
Dire's
a super
top
huge
tower
item.
has
It's
fallen.
a good setup, a good follow-up. But they need more than that.
Radiant's
Guys,
bottom
on that
tower
green
is
hay,
under
the Yules,
attack.
We've seen so many times these teams using Yules for kiting to protect themselves. This is going to be one hell of a game because I have a feeling Ice is going to be getting the brunt of those Yules, right? He'll come in, he'll sort of want to try and doom somebody, and then all of a sudden Playhard just comes in. Be free. Join Cloud9.
Radiant's bottom
Not
tower
for
is
now.
under attack.
I missed that overall.
I miss the overall too. It's alright, we can always remember Cloud9 with the Yules.
Yeah. Cloud9
Radiant's
was,
bottom tower is under
one of the
attack.
longest games in the history of Dota as well. So 20 minutes is coming up, so the tier 2 items will start to drop. Growth Bow, perfect
Radiant
for
are scanning.
Queen of Pain and Vano if they
Maybe
want
for the
to.
lineup, yeah.
Oh, look at that deal. Damage wasn't enough, but
Radiant's
never mind,
bottom
Jano
tower
is
is
always
under
there.
attack.
Jano, not just Jano, Yopaj. I swear Yopaj is everywhere this game. Every time there's a kill, it's Yopaj.
Jano is, you know, like the support is like the, like what Winter likes to say, he's the servant, and he always follows his master.
Oh, this one's not a servant. He's the right-hand man.
And Savage is going to go down. He gets the gun, but then 5 members on top of him, they slow him down. He can't even TP. He has to come to Wood, but Wood! Savage goes down, finally comes through his on the Wood. Wood gets another swap. They have to go on the Yopaj, but they can't get through it. He's eating. Forces another 2, and look at that blood right on top of Ice's side. They have to start off. At least kill Playhard with the flaming lasso. But Yopaj is ready to re-engage. Doom does run out. They get the Poison Nova, the Venom skill onto Ice's side. The Avalanche pauses it now. And Scam is wicked sick. Just not able to stop the onslaught of Neon.
I can see the concept there. They were hoping that they can get the swap in under 23 Savage. If he insta-TP'd, if he could just TP a little bit quicker, he would have been able to get out of there. But Neon, again, just hounding their primary targets. And now we're starting to fall into an issue with the supporting cast here for FNATIC, right? The Mirana and the Batrider. These heroes currently are being ignored because in the team fights, they are such low-impact heroes. They don't care about getting lassoed, they don't care about getting arrowed because they've got
Dire's middle tower
Oracle,
is under attack.
Oracle there with the ultimate just in case anything sort of goes awry. They just say, go for the cause, those are the only heroes that we're struggling with. Ignore the support, they're not doing anything.
Lucky shot to Jano. Jano is going to die. And that's a consolation prize for FNATIC.
Needed pick off.
It's okay. He's allowed to feed. He's allowed to die. He's done enough.
He's done enough.
And that is one smoke from FNATIC broken. So Neon Esports can just safely retreat unless Moon has something to say about that. He sees Rappy, but that's not the target you want to go on.
A little big item on Jabs though, he just picked up the blink on that Batrider. So we might start seeing FNATIC start to initiate these engagements because up until this point they sort of had to run at their targets to get the lasso on the Doom off, but now it's going to be onto Jabs' shoulders here. If Jabs can set up with a team and they can immediately delete someone before a fight begins, then I think this game is actually going to start turning on its head.
Oh, yeah. And I think even in game 1, FNATIC were constantly being engaged on. They never got a chance to fight. This game, they kind of got a chance to fight 5 versus 5, but we've seen the result of that. So far is Neon coming out on top in every scenario.
Visibility.
They are now 9k. They have the 9k gold lead over FNATIC. They have to continue pushing this tempo against FNATIC before the cores of FNATIC come online. Neon Esports have a huge window to work with.
So as of now, it's really on to Neon here to sort of keep up that tempo, make sure that FNATIC are not the ones to sort of dictate how these fights begin. And you can see there's a line there. Is there potential smoke coming out from FNATIC or Moonlight Shadow? Because they are awfully grouped up in that jungle there. Yeah, so we're looking at a smoke.
Dire's top tower is
Moonlight
under
Shadow,
attack.
the classic Neon Esports, they don't have high ground advantage, but they do have to play or being placed down. So Moon's gonna lead the charge. They're going for a huge wraparound. Unfortunately, Roshan is not an option. Neon Esports, they are tucked in their triangle. So FNATIC will call it out. This smoke is not going to work out.
Yeah, both teams are sort of sticking together now. You can see Neon, even though they have this really big gold lead, they're still showing respect to FNATIC. And I feel this is just a testament to how the team, they really understand their opponents now.
Yep, and Mjolnir completed for Scam. He's going for the BKB next to solidify his strength and team fight. But this Bloodseeker is absolutely massive.
Is he going to be big enough though? Because the only concern here is that he hasn't picked up a BKB as of yet. There is the slight chance that he could potentially just get lassoed.
Now, if they kill off the Oracle, then yes, the Oracle is kind of the primary target. But you have to deal with all these other members of Neon who are equally strong because of the nature of the hero. FNATIC, they do have vision of Yopaj. They have that ward set up.
Looks like it's Roche time.
Neon immediately goes into the Roche. I don't think FNATIC can contest this. There should be a free Roche for Neon Esports.
Radiant structures are fortified.
The agents will go over to Scam. FNATIC, you just have to give yourself have to give up certain objectives to make sure that you survive longer. This is one of them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just get as much farm as you can. Just try to prep before this push sort of comes out from Neon. I'm interested to see if Neon wants to push those bottom towers first before going up high ground, or if they just want to straight away sort of try and end the game right before any kind of timing kicks into play here for FNATIC.
I mean, the best way to do it is just to get all the tier 2s so you get full control of the map. It's like the fundamental, the bread and butter.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower
TP
is under attack.
To the bot lane, hoping to catch FNATIC, but not able to find FNATIC.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The last tier, I'm gonna go for the bot tier 2. You can see everyone from the side of Neon, they are grouped up. So FNATIC, they probably will be anticipating this. They might even want to go for a fight though with that fresh Blink Dagger. I don't think Neon Esports
Dire's
has information of that item.
Attack.
Does Neon see Jabs?
Oh, they're smoked up just in time.
I wonder if they know Jabs has that Blink Dagger yet.
So far, I don't
Radiant's
think
middle tower is under attack.
They're smoked out with the Moonlight Shadow, but unfortunately, again, no way to engage onto Neon. They will have to give away this tier 1.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Tower away. So it looks like they are just trying to hit a timing here. They've got 23 Savage in the jungle. They've also got the rest of the team actually farming away in the Radiant jungle. They're
Radiant's middle tower
really
is under attack.
Maybe they want to try and
Dire's
pressure any heroes that TP back. They could get to play hard, but you can see that play hard. They're playing safe. They don't want to be too far away from the team.
Yep, and
Radiant structures are fortified.
To open up the bot tier 2 for Scam to start sieging, and just able to keep FNATIC out and away from the main frontier of the team. But FNATIC didn't respond. They're going to take their own objectives. The mid tier 2 is under siege. Top lane being pushed in as well. It will eventually force Neon Esports to respawn.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
To this.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, the pushing power in FNATIC is quite reasonable as well. You can't really leave them to push those towers. If you want to trade towers, you're not going to win that race at all.
Yep, and Savage, he just TP back to base. So if Neon takes a fight right now, it is
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Perfectly timed from Neon. They actually find Ice. Yopaj sees Jab as well, but that's the Blink Dagger reveal. Jab gets out. The rest of Neon Esports, they are trying to catch up onto Ice.
Radiant are scanning.
Scorched Earth, a bit of movement speed. Yopaj still sees this dude. Just trying to TP, but Jab managing to last on Scam.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So he will come back to life, but the main squad of Neon, they're not there. Jab might be able to help Great Falls to push it away from the main frontier of FNATIC. Now they get the rupture from Jab. Jab to die Scam. All the resources have been used onto this Bloodseeker, so Scam is like, I'm gonna go right in right now. 23 Savage. He said BKB, but meanwhile, they actually Ice, they pick him up. As 23 Savage tries to lay on the damage onto Scam, but you have to fall from him to keep him alive. Does also use the swap used by Scam. He wants to heal with that blood rage, and he's gonna survive this for sure. The multi-shot, able to kill out Rappy. FNATIC needs to back off, blink in the dust. They see Moon. Yopaj with the avalanche, not connected, but Moon's gonna be caught by 23 Savage. Tries to hit everyone. The Sonic Wave is going to hit him. And he also have General to back him up. It's Scam. He's beyond godlike. And FNATIC, they still lose the fight.
Yeah, I think that was honestly the only thing that they could have really done there. They had to pop the Aegis at some point. Otherwise, if you want to leave the Bloodseeker to take that Aegis and go up high ground, defending is just going to be a bigger issue for them.
Dire's
so
middle
they
tower
tried to take
is
the
under
fight.
attack.
I mean, it didn't do too badly. They did manage to kill off the Venomancer in the process. They managed to get a little bit of gold into their pockets, but I think most importantly, just
Dire's
get rid of the
middle
Aegis.
tower has
Of course,
fallen.
it's not the best trade, but you just got to drag the game late. There we go.
Yep.
Dire's middle tower is under
I'm
attack.
not sure if the game's going to go late enough.
DJ is dead. Goodbye.
Does he have lead chance?
He's never gonna try. Even Yopaj is
He was silent, so I don't think he would have had the chance anyway.
And these two cores.
See you later, nerds.
Oh, that's it. Well, as he's getting a taste of his own medicine, this proves that he is not immortal. Both cores from the side of Neon Esports, both the Bloodseeker and the Tiny, they are 11 and 0. 0 deaths so far in this game.
If they lose that Tiny though, I can't imagine how big that streak is going to be.
Now you just
Huge. I'm scared.
he just got a BKB off of that mid fight, so this is going to be high ground. Get the top back in. Manta used by Moon, able to get out with the Force Staff and Hurricane Pie as the multi-shot used on the Scam, but Scam gets pushed away. Rapi with the Grease to keep Scam pretty healthy. And FNATIC able to hold the fort for now as Ice will respawn, but he does not have the Doom. Oh, just came back up, there we go. Doom is back up for this position 3 of FNATIC.
The saving grace so far is that FNATIC are going to have an easier time to defend. They've got great wave clear. That's the most important thing with their lineup, because they can clear the creeps so quickly. And because Neon, they don't have the best sieges, it's going to be a very slow process. And obviously, the more chances you take to try and push high ground, the more opportunities for FNATIC to potentially capitalize on a small misplay.
Yep. And Moonlight Shadow use, they are trying to look for pickoffs. One of the ways to buy time for your team is to find those isolated members of Neon, but play hard. He is out of their vicinity, and unfortunately FNATIC's not going to find anything.
The prize is mine.
Fainting there, that maybe he was going to TP in.
Jabs, a pretty aggressive stance. They might see play hard.
Do they have vision? I don't think they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, it's very, very dark on the map there for FNATIC. They're just running on intuition at this rate, just thinking, okay, where could they be?
FNATIC's trying to get away with this media hammer from DJ.
Out of my way!
With the Starstorm as well. They make it pretty, they make it simple and efficient, but Neon Esports, they are going to try the second round to siege that high ground.
Oh, big item picked up as well on the side of Neon.
Scam just gonna walk in.
Dire structures
He has the
are
BKB,
fortified.
so he's not gonna be afraid of this.
I don't think you're going to be afraid now if you're Neon, because Crimson just got picked up on the side of Rappy.
Yep.
And most of the damage on the side of FNATIC is physical damage, so they're going to be able to mitigate a lot of that incoming damage.
Scam back to full health thanks to Jano, and with no blink, that's going to be a tier 3, but what will happen? Rappy gets side, he gets side, but he has to run as well. Yeah, it's not going to win.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Is beyond gone, like look at Ice, he's trying to be on Jano, but that's not going to happen. Ice will die as well. Rappy is still surviving, finally dies, but Scam is trying to run in, gets gusted backwards. They have to stun onto this Bloodseeker. The damage is dead. They try to disrupt
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm gonna enter that fountain and kill off this Drow Ranger.
Leap to it.
And that's the tech that Yopaj deserves. Ice, he buys back Infernal Play. We have the blood right, but Yopaj, he has to use to keep himself alive. And Scam
Radiant's
runs in.
top
He says,
tower
Ice,
is under
get
attack.
away from my teammate. He wants that perfect KDA. And Scam will prevent it, preserve that.
See you later,
That's a beyond
nerds.
godlike of Bloodseeker, and FNATIC
Dire's
just
bottom
getting
barracks
absolutely
is
ripped
falling.
apart by Neon Esports in their own base.
They're playing so dang fast. Oh dear, they're going to be careful though. There is a potential swap that could come in.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Celebratory toss.
I think it's also just to get Scam out of like, hey, come on buddy, go hurry up.
Yeah, FNATIC, they use everything onto Rappy.
So many buybacks happened as well to try and protect the Drow Ranger, but 23 Savage, he just got tossed in the fountain. I mean, how many times do you normally get tossed in the fountain by a Tiny?
Yep.
Not
He
too
was
many
that
times.
close. He was
Double
close, but
damage.
unfortunately not close enough. The only kills that FNATIC got were on the supports of Neon. Well, plus Rappy. Rappy and play hard. That's pretty much it. But
They
this
still need more.
feels like this damage is irreparable for FNATIC. They see Yopaj, so DJ should have a bit of information where this Tiny is coming from. with that first Rex gone, it is still okay. You know, you give up one Rex, still defendable.
Absolutely.
But the second Roshan might just be the final nail in the coffin for FNATIC.
It might be, unless maybe somehow FNATIC can take the Roshan themselves. Could you imagine the Drow being able to pick up the Aegis, being able to fight twice? She does a lot of damage by herself, so 2 lives might make the difference, but the question is, how do you even get into the Roche pit without being spotted by Neon? Because Neon have just done such a good job at just hounding all these FNATIC heroes.
Yeah, I mean, you give Savage 2 lives. If the rest of his team dies, his prowess. He needs the Vengeful Spirit to be beside him. He needs his teammates to protect him.
See you later,
They want to be losing on Miranda there, especially with how soon Roche could potentially spawn.
Doesn't even need the veil.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
One of the ways
Radiant
to let the Titans
structures
scale
are
up.
fortified.
I won't be surprised if he decides to just go for a Dagon, but a Hex would be pretty decent. Play hard now, has the Lotus Orb.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Has
attack.
to even land the Doom. As the siege now is going to commence on that
Radiant's
top lane,
bottom tower
as
has
well.
fallen.
But there's no way the FNATIC can
Dire's
find
top
an easy
tower
way to get
is
on the
under
scam.
attack.
They might have to concede this.
The Crimson Guard just mitigating so much of that outcoming damage. They would have taken more, but you know, Rappy just so good at helping to, at least to help to push the team forward
Radiant's
when it comes
middle
to taking
tower
these
is
objectives.
under attack.
Silver lining, FNATIC, they have the repair kit. And they are putting Rappy at the front line. They're like, Rappy, you can die, but let's make sure you
He
use...
just has to poison over, right?
Yeah, just poison over, use everything, and die. That's it.
Poison over, use the Greaves, use the Crimson Guard, just use everything.
Yeah, just use everything before you die.
Blow it up. You can go.
His team will take care of the job. You know?
Yeah. Very slow and steady push here for Neon, but I think if you're Neon, you can't rush the high ground.
This is just discipline. And this Doom right now is just trying to get those resources, needs to get the farm.
This feels so strange for Ice too, because I think in almost every single game leading up to this, he's been absolutely dominating on his off lane, but I think this is the first time we've actually seen him really struggle at all.
Yeah, I mean, when you're not given any room to breathe around the map, there is really little that you can do. Second Roshan is up. Even though the lineup from Neon Esports isn't good at taking Roshan, but with the lead that they have...
Could they contest Roche? I don't think they are.
There's
They're
no
not
way.
willing.
There's no way they can contest the Roche.
I mean, look at the position, and they're not even looking to do it. They're just saying, calm
Roshan has fallen into the Radiant.
They lose, which will definitely happen. You know, has a high chance of happening. The game is over. But Moon, he got his butterfly, so maybe that might help a bit. But it's getting tougher and tougher. With this Aegis, Neon is just going to push high ground. They also have the cheese as well onto Rappy. So Rappy now becomes an unviable target for FNATIC to go on. And you can't play hard or general. FNATIC will have a huge decision to make in this upcoming push.
Let's see if they can end it in this push as well, because of course if you're Neon, you don't want to make all these little pushes happen. You want to have that one big push to just take those Raxes down. There we go.
Not onto Rappy, they boom him, but he's not going to use it for now. They're going to use the drag on the Jano. That's the target you want to kill off. They have also committed that will force Neon Esports to immediately back off. No Oracle means no fighting. No party, the Avalanche is scanning him. I want to turn around. He has the Rupture, drop the Blood Right, pop the BKB, has the Mjolnir to protect him, and he might be able to kill out Moon. Static, not able to move because of the Rupture, and he goes down for 80 seconds. They're gonna finish off the illusion. Play hard, goes in, drop the Sonic Wave. That is 23 Savage. He
Dire's top tower is under attack.
but he has the buyback, so he will come back to life for round number 2. But FNATIC, do they have the resources to re-engage onto Neon? As Neon struggle to siege onto this tier 3 due to their repair kit. The game can fight his game. Doesn't get the toss off, but they have the benefit.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Those are views, keeping himself alive. 23 Savage trying to run away, but Scam is on his tail. Neon have to be patient, they have to be disciplined. Tier 3 is still available, and that is their target.
Dire's structures are
This is
fortified.
such a long siege. They might have to retreat at some point because it's just getting a bit too
Dire's
long.
top tower
Heroes are going
is
to start
under attack.
respawning.
They're finally going to be able to do it. No Doom, no Lasso, no Moonlight Shadow.
Dire's
Easy for
top
Neon.
tower is
Rappy
fallen.
didn't even die. The Doom
Dire's
was
top
not
barracks
really
are under
used
attack.
perfection. Now with the Greaves available, Scam is going to be healthy.
Dire's
Ideal
top
time.
barracks
Gets
is fallen.
himself himself. dodges away from the Gus, but he does get the multi-shot, and now Ice links in, gets the Storm on to play hard. That's the Rupture onto 23 Savage, and this Draw Ranger has called the BKB and start running, but he needs his teammate to protect him.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Neon Esports, are they considering to go for a retreat? Seems like Scam says, yeah, I think it's time to back off. We've gotten the racks. Let us reset for another fight.
Dire's
FNATIC,
middle tower is under attack.
Let this happen. Jabsy does have that lasso, but Neon Esports, they might be ready to fight again.
Such a long engagement, but Neon, they managed to survive through the entirety of it. And again, it's all just off of these items from Rappy. The Greed, being able to heal up the team, the Crimson Guard to slow the damage output from FNATIC. I mean, what can you really do as FNATIC? You have to make some of these crazy plays happen, but we're starting to see the big weakness in their lineup, which is the fact that they rely so much on the Doom.
Yeah, and remember when we, during the draft, I think Arthur mentioned this, you pick a Draw Ranger that's a Bloodseeker, you are in a lot of trouble if your team doesn't, or is not able to protect you, and that's the case right now. Moonlight Shadow used, but Ice. This is good intel for Neon Esports, and it's just gonna wait it out. FNATIC, they set up Vision in their own triangle, but might not matter too much though, as they see DJ. As well, gonna show itself. And if they find a pick off, it's 23 Savage. Freshly pick Shiva's gun. Savage uses the gun.
See you later, nerds.
Back for the Draw Ranger. 100 seconds on the clock.
That was such a questionable movement coming up from 23 Savage. He's walking down the lane alone. His team is in the middle of the base.
See you later, nerds.
This might be GG FNATIC trying to hold his 3 versus 5 against Neon Esports. And
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They take this 2-0.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.